back up. I had to get back up. I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down to get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it.
The NFL on EA Sports has come to the Twin Cities at US Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Dallas Cowboys. Here's Kai Forbath now to get us started, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. SOS.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard.
Hatch it. Pick the edge. Come.
Cousins gives way to Cook. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
So from the 36 now, first and 10.
Mike, 54. I don't even know why. Clark. Lynn 50. Tight dog. Hey, switch gears.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Let's go. Pick it up, D. Check. Flicker.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Check 52. Check hot route.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
They run again on first down. Cook. Credit the tackle there to Jordan Lewis.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, Creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Out, 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 out. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush.
Here's Madison. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Now Cousins on 4th down. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive.
All day, baby, all day.
Now the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
And boy, again, they won't get this off in time. That's going to set them back 5 yards.
I know you feel that.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15.
Give me that ball, defense.
Prescott from the gun. And he'll sling that one in there. Complete to Cooper on the comebacker. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know Coach coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. On 3rd down, they run with Madison. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on the punt. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Here's Britton Colquitt to punt this one away. Back deep is Tavon Austin. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
At the 8-yard line.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. To throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. He's got the connection to Cooper. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice...
Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They're indeed going for it. It's Prescott. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. This is first and goal from about the 8. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Now a run with Cook. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on third and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a fourth and goal. On now, the former Cowboy kicker, Dan Bailey. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Bailey able to knock it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
A 3-yard pickup, and it's third down.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So the Cowboys will punt it on fourth down, as on is the veteran Chris Jones to kick it away. Back deep is Marcus Sherrills. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. A first run for the backup, Abdullah. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the gun, here's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Britton Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10.
At the 49-yard line.
Stop your body.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. And the pressure gets to him again. Danielle Hunter getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. Give him 4 yards there, and that should be the final play of this first half. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. They'll run on first down. It's Elliott. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 53 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Forbat to send it away now following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Another carry now for Madison. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He's checking. Crash. Shift. Watch the shift.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Check 31. Kill.
They run it again with Cook. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on third and medium winds up being a good one. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Madison running on first down. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Madison. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Hey, here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down. Cook. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. He needed 9, he got 8. And that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt that in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Come on, come on. Line out. Here we go. Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Kill.
Now Cook. A little track jump. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run with Madison. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. On third down, it's Cook. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff working right. Down to the 25. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
They'll run inside with a fullback Ham. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
The Vikings on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. Here it's 3rd and 3. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Brings up 4th down and less than a yard.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Check, check. Lucky, lucky, lucky. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist.
Here's Ham, the fullback. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that. But by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Break the heart. 54 Mike. Cut, cut, cut.
Here's a give to Madison running right. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Gonna run with Madison again. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
That's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 12.
The heart. Ready. Silver, silver.
Now Cousins. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Back near his goal line, it's Prescott. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds it. And he's able to get this one up to the 8-yard line this time. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Prescott to throw it. Gonna take a shot for Gallup. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. The Cowboys will go. Prescott. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown, and that's what they're gunning for on first and goal. They'll run with Cook. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they're knocking on the door. Second and goal now in a one-score game.
Check nickel, nickel, nickel.
They try again with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation. But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term?
A crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Again, it's Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. On 3rd down, Cook. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Here's Austin. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So Tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. A throw over the middle, taken in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys. They'll look to throw. Completes it to Jason Witten. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. He'll look to throw. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith. Dak and the offense still out there. They are going to go for it.
Big stop, let's go.
One last shot now for Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up in